All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 2 of the finals of the Crystal Cup, hosted by Azubu. So Game 1, if you guys weren't here for that, was pretty amazing. We had some awesome teamfight come out from Clueless. They managed to get some great map control, some great split pushing, and now comes the big question. Is Killing Dominion going to go down 2-0, or are we going to see a Game 3? So, it looks like we are going to have the Janna ban, of course. The Kha'Zix ban is going to come out. Maokai and Fizz. Okay, the Fizz is getting taken out of the picture. Wolfert's a great Fizz player. As we talked about earlier, that is one of his big things to take on Snide Syndra. The question is, are we going to see a Diana ban?
I don't think Diana would be banned. Snide has counterpick.
Snide does have counterpick though, so we will see. And Diana, oh yeah, you cannot pick Diana as a top laner to kind of trick out the enemy bot laner, because her top lane is quite a... The Diana ban comes out.
But they leave up Aurelia. I guess they're saying they're not going to first pick Aurelia?
I don't know. I know BB Pop or even Bruiser is great at Aurelia, and even if Wolfert doesn't take the Aurelia, they'll still have it just in case.
I guess the question that you would ask yourself in Clueless' sense is, would you want to pick Aurelia in any matchup when it beats Snide's common matchups, but we have to give up Zyra and Jarvan? I don't think they want to do that.
No,
I also don't think they want to pick up Zyra. Parker's is a very good proponent of Zyra, but I think the best pick to pick up now is Morgana.
That Morgana did a lot of work that last game, and they're picking up the Syndra. Oh, is this a call-out to Snide? Oh my goodness. Clueless saying, you know what? You guys are done. New kids, going down. Old school is back, and we are here to win this tournament and break your record. Let's go. Oh, they are going to pick up the Morgana, though, so very nicely done. Swapping it over. But yeah, as we were saying in that last game, a Parker's with those bindings and the ultimates were just so on point that it really carried a lot of the game. Just landing those bindings, you know, especially when you hit Vi. Vi can't do anything when she's stuck there in that snare. She's kind of just stuck. She's useless. It's like having a Malzahar Q come across you and you're an ability user. You're stuck with a 3-second silence and nothing to do for it. But looks like Killing Dominion is going to be picking up the Zyra. It's a very good pickup there, and they are going to pick up the Brand as well, which means Hafe is going to have to pick something else, because Brand is considered one of his, if not the best, of his champions.
This is very interesting. Seeing both long-range mages, and just two mages lock-ins right now.
It's very funny how the drafting of Dominion goes through these phases of we want to pick, you know, stuff like Kha'Zix, Wukong, you know, Jarvan. Those are our top picks. Then we switch to tanks where Maokai, Leona, the Mundo, stuff like that became top for a while. And then now we're back at our mages again. It goes full circle all around. Alright, so what are we going to have? The Zyra is on the table. There is still a Vi to be picked up. Vi being very good at getting into the back line, trying to blow up those squishy targets. Leona is still up as well. Leona being very good against Brand and Zyra. Can get in there, lock him down, keep him stunned long enough for a teammate to jump in. Oh, it looks like we're going to have a monkey. And what else are you going to give us, Clueless?
This is coming down to the wire. We're going to get the Vi.
Alright, there we go. 1 second left on the clock, picking that Vi up. So right now, got the double bruiser going on. I would definitely expect to see a Parker's pick up in a very early Black Cleaver to help out the Vi's damage overall, because he's going to be in there dealing tons of AoE to everything and just shredding down that armor. Vi's going to come in with those denting blows and absolutely rip everything apart. So, we will see.
This is very interesting. One team got the priority bruisers, the other team got the priority mages, and all the priority assassins were banned.
It's it's going to be pretty interesting to see here. We do have the Jarvan being picked up by Comp. might be played by someone else. Most likely forgot the icing. He's the tank bruiser player. See what Rage is going to pick up now. He doesn't have a lot of options when it comes to effective bruisers that I know he plays. The Aurelia is still on the table. And Ezreal being picked up. Okay, that makes more sense, Rage. I was very questioning what you were doing there with that Ezreal.
This is very interesting. You've got a very, very mage-centric comp, which makes me think Snide's going to play MF in the bottom lane, or something that deals significant physical damage.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Clueless, you're gonna have to have Merc Treads. Basically,
Yes.
it's the game. Merc Treads the game. And you're gonna have to try to run them over, which you should be able to do with a supported Morgana. Now, the question is, what is the last mage that they pick? Because they do need something else to supplement the amount of magic damage that comes out. They could go top Syndra. They could opt for a Malzahar. They could opt for a Lux. I think Lux would have been a very, very good pick because she brings them out of CC and a little bit of shields to go on top of whatever they have. Karma's also still in the pool, I do believe. But it looks like they're going to stick with the top lane Syndra.
Oh, I was going to say very, very good job on picking the Syndra and then picking the Aurelia, because then Snide would kind of be forced to pick just a completely different champion into that Syndra. But
I don't believe Snide has an Aurelia to pick in the Syndra in the first place.
Oh, does he not have the Aurelia? Oh, well then, perfect. That'll work out then. So they did take away his Syndra. The Diana's banned out. Wolfer is taking that Nocturne. And the top lane Syndra is actually relatively good against this team comp here, because she's very strong with the counter initiates. If Killing Dominion tries to come in and engage, they're going to eat a face full of Cyclone, face full of Dark Bindings and Chains, and then a face full of the knockback as well from Syndra. So very good counter initiate comp as well as initiate comp with the Vi.
It's going to be very interesting to see this Urgot lock-in, because Brand can still go bottom lane. It could be either one of those champion, and it's really old-school comp coming out. But we see there's an Ezreal.
Snide
and they're going to stick with
Ezreal.
So I'm curious to see what's actually going to go to bot lane right now. It might be comp on bot lane with Brand, because he does play bot lane Brand more than everybody else on that team. And Snide might be going top lane on the Ezreal in the back line.
Yeah, it's Confitarius, as we mentioned it earlier, he was one of the best bot laners, around. He played on Base Evelyn Child support, best Dominion team of all time. And Snide can play anything, anywhere, so he does have that advantage of, I'm not going bot this round, I'm just going to send Confitarius down there, and he is going to rock it.
Now, my eyes popped a little bit as I saw the swaps going around. I remember Brown Bruiser being a Syndra player, but he also is somebody who's only been back for so long, can pick up so many champions. I have never in my life seen Hafe play Syndra. So my eyes kind of went up, light up a little bit as he swapped over to that champion. I'm very surprised to see this, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play this champion.
Yeah, we will see how he does. I mean, we talked about it in that other game that he is normally the person to get caught out a lot on Clueless. His map positioning isn't always 100% accurate, and he gets those, oh no, I'm by myself, 3 people just jump me situations.
In the past, but now he acts as the bait.
Which is very good, as we saw.
It's a very interesting mind game that has developed over this past Dominion series. And with Black Shield to back him up and the counter initiate from Cyclone, it's a very disgusting bait when it happens.
Yeah, he's going to have that Black Shield to negate all the CC hitting him. He has his own knockback with a stun on it that reaches incredibly far. Then you're going to have the Vi, the Cyclone, the Chains, everything coming out to counter-initiate. I really think Clueless has the better comp for the team fighting here. There's a lot more damage and a lot more synergy coming out from killing Dominion, but the counter-initiating power that Clueless is bringing to the table is going to be a lot to contend with. Because all that damage is not going to be very good if you can't get it to its target.
Well, counter-initiate is only counter-initiate when used for such. For Clueless, they don't have counter-initiate because the Cyclone should be always used on the initiate. There's only 2 melee that you don't really want to Cyclone. You want to get in on that Zyra, you want to get in on that Ezreal in the back line. And the issue with that is, if they're using all their all of their CC on their initiate, they're not going to have anything to really fall back on other than Morgana ult. The important thing to note coming from Killing Dominion is they did pick up Zyra, which is very important. That champion, as we saw in the first game today, she absolutely wrecks people when they decide to walk into her, and she's not immediately dead. We have the Zyra-Leona combo, which is super, super strong at just defending the mid-range of a team fight. So that Ezreal should be perfectly safe in the backline.
Yeah, Ezreal also opting to see if he wants to go that tier start. Tier and Muramana on Dominion stack a lot faster. In addition to the recent change where Muramana is now built out of pickaxe, so it has that AD on it. It's quite a good start. Most Ezreals get their Muramana finished by 7 to 8 minutes, and that is a very early power spike. It is a very deadly combo. I've used it myself, even though I'm a terrible Ezreal.
I would always disagree, and starting tier is very, very matchup dependent, and I don't think this is one where you can get away with it. All of those champions are very, very good early game, and you need as much damage as possible from the backline because Zyra does not do significant amounts of damage when her plants are not there to assist her in the early game. Jarvan is a fairly all-around bruiser. He doesn't do spectacular damage, but he's solid. Leona's damage in the early game is only good when procced by the inpin of Zyra, so he really can't afford to get a tier. In my opinion, you get your tier in this matchup in the mid game if you're ahead, so that you can snowball your late game while your mid game is still fine because you're Ezreal with rank 5 Mystic Shot. So I would probably go something along the lines of Phase into Triforce or Prospector's Blade into Brutalizer, and then see if you can afford to get your tier in the mid game or not. Because if you start tier, the first 8 minutes, if you lose your midpoint, you might not be able to scale at all. And
yeah, that is true.
And even though you do get a very strong power spike with tier for damage, what you don't have is any bulk to survive Nocturne if he decides to ult on you in a team fight, or if Bibopop just decides to get in range of him with Assault and Battery.
Yeah, Syndra's Stun just loosely flies through, he gets hit by the collateral damage, he's going to be stunned up, that is going to be hit me now. Everyone is immediately going to focus onto that Ezreal. So it's going to be kind of difficult. As you said, I know there's the other option of getting the Trinity Force first and using that for your mid-game power spike, picking up the tier immediately thereafter, and then allowing your late game to even, spike harder and not fall off. So we'll see how he kind of decides to go with the Ezreal builds. There's a very different amount that you can do with him and still be incredibly effective. Alright, and we are into Game 2 of the finals here. It's going to be Clueless versus Killing Dominion since 2011, and Killing Dominion did lose Game 1. So Clueless does have the game advantage. If they win this game, that is it, and they are going to be the champions. If not, we're going to see Game 3, which I would be totally okay with, because these games are awesome. They have been incredibly hyped.
Welcome to the Crystal Skull.
I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a Game 3, and if Killing Dominion takes this, I believe it will be their 4th consecutive Azubu Crystal Cup win, and if Clueless takes it, they will dethrone the reigning champions, and this will be their first one that they get to take home.
It'll be nice. It's great to have tournaments, Dominion tournaments, that have some cash prizes in them. I'm playing for RP for almost, I think, 2 to 3 years now. So having that cash incentive has really kind of kicked some of these players into working harder to win it.
And it looks like Snide might opt to go for Ezreal bottom lane against Nocturne. This is a fairly decent lane for 6, but after that, generally with Speedrun and a Ghost Blade, Nocturne can just run Ezreal over.
Yeah, it's, I mean, even if he just wants to ult, he can ult on, he can get the Fear. The Blink isn't going to break the tether from Fear. However, Blink and Flash will, but that is a lot to blow just to not die in that one instance of the Nocturnal.
Wolfer really should be playing should cap this point as quickly as possible, and then play towards forward brush, using the brush in order to not have to take significant amounts of harass and be able to properly wave clear. If he plays towards the back brush, he's going to slowly lose the lane.
Yeah, and he just needs to be very careful about taking that poke from Ezreal. If he eats too many Qs, he's not going to be able to engage. He has to be careful about falling into the bushes down there, and wow, Confiteria is getting absolutely destroyed incredibly fast, and Zyra using a little bit of mechanics knowledge there, using the throwaway, her slow, grabbing Zyra plants and tossing them out.
We had Bibopop get in a small fight with Rages in the early game. That's a fight that generally is always won by Vi, as Ray just found out the hard way. We have Brand+Zyra greeting for Matsuportal, who has picked up 2 health relics in this chase, and they're still gonna manage to get away. Got the flash out of Wukong.
He
But
did have his Q up. I think Wukong could have dropped that final Q, because it does have some further range than his auto attack to kill off that Zyra.
this is going to be a very slow-paced game, as Cling Minion did pick a team comp that scales very well, and they have Snide pretty much farming uncontested in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's very hard for Wolfer to get in on this as soon as the fear... Oh, no, never mind. He is going to be able to get in. The Vi is down here. There's the Blink. Waiting for the Blink very patiently. Nice job from Baby Pop. Able to take down this Ezreal here. That is going to be a forced revive or forced killing Dominion to come bot to take care of it.
Clueless are generally just relaxing. They know that they have a good late game just like they do, and they feel like they can fight them in it, so they're not going to push on to their mid. They're not going to overextend. They're just going to take the farm given to them. You know, maintain jungle control. Brand+Zyra is being very, very forward, but they know that Zyra was shown in the bottom lane, and nobody's 6 yet. Icing definitely did not want to hit that Zenith Blade, as he would have definitely came into his death, but Clueless should hit first, because they did win the top fight.
Yeah, the little bit of XP from the gank in bot lane allowed BB Pop and Wolfer to hit 6 already. So the Sultan Battery is up, and the engage coming in from Jarvan. Very nice Cyclone. That is what we're talking about with counter-engage Cyclones. Able to get that good team knockup. The Zyra ult coming in, that is going to be quite a few knockups. The ultimate from Syndra coming across, finishing off Jarvan. And that looks like it's going to be an clean sweep from Clueless, but there is now a Snide up in this top lane.
Snide was there at the start of that fight. That was a 5v4 that Clueless just went completely even on, and went 4 for 4 with 4v5. And that allowed Wolfer to catch up substantially in the bottom lane. He was behind in gold, but now they're by about 400, and now they're going to break even after Snide farms that wave.
Yes, so there is going to be pretty even bot lane now. That's good. Wolfer is probably going to be picking up some items here. He does have that Ninja Tabby, which will cut most, if not all, of Ezreal's damage out in the early game until he actually starts getting something going here. Ninja Tabby, a very, I want to say underrated in solo queue item. A lot of people just instinctively go for Mercs.
And Conf was trying to get a good vantage point on that team fight by sneaking into the brush, but unfortunately he didn't know that Bibipop was just waiting there. And they got another pick on Conf. 3-man stun by Syndra, followed by a bind that's going to pick up Rages. Matsuportal's going to go down, and Icing is just going to get beat on, and he might die when the next bind comes. Ezreal whiffs in the team fight, and they're going to chase Icing down. Matsuportal is going to blow the first revive of the game for their team, and it's going to amount to probably nothing.
Looks like they're going to
try to pick up Brand+Zyra, who wasn't paying attention. He was falling in the brush, but Clueless is going to rotate down on the Snide, and he's definitely going to go down here. You can't go overall because the Fire Curse is right there.
But did manage to get it. In the meantime, though, throughout all these fights, killing Dominion did get a minion wave built up, so that minion wave is going to be trying to neutralize this tower here. So they're quickly rushing to try and push it down, make sure the minions do their job. And it looks like BB Pop wisely going to back off, knows that there's too many there for him to handle. No one is there to back him up. Says, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm going to go regroup, try and find some good catches elsewhere. Peace out.
That was one of the unfortunate quest spawns. When quest spawns for Windmill versus the Drill, it's much, much easier for the team going for Windmill to get that than to take their mid point.
Yeah, and the unfortunate having the quest pop up there.
Now we do have Clueless. They've set the wave. They're there, and you know Snide, he's looking around. He doesn't know where they're at. Parker's gonna walk into the brush. They're gonna slightly back up. They see Snide here. Brand+Zyra's gonna dive into the back line, get a beautiful Wukong. Oh, but Bibipop's going to die before able to do anything. Hafe Hearted's going to probably be able to take out Rages on the back end of this. Wolfer came to the fight. Hafe wanted to leave, and he didn't know, so he wasn't putting out the amount of damage that he should have been. But he is going to do relatively well. This fight went perfectly even. Bibipop's going to opt to pop a revive since he knows that people are low. Forgot that Icing's going to face check the push, and he's going to go down.
Very nicely done. I love the revive control coming out from the teams here. They're not spamming it as a group. They're spamming it in terms of how much they need. BB Pop being the only one to pop that revive, saying, you know what, there's only 2 people left. They're low. If I'm at full health and Hafe is pretty healthy, we can win this fight. We can take back this windmill. This is exactly what they're doing right now, and they did get it back. And BB Pop even got a kill off the Leona on it, so very nicely done.
Hafe is 5-0-6 on this top lane Syndra so far, and what's been happening is not only has Conf been getting caught out a lot, But every time killing the minion groups up with their fifth person, and this is something that Clueless is also guilty for, they get very overconfident and their positioning is very terrible. They don't expect to get engaged on when you know that you have 5 people and that the other team's at a disadvantage. And Brand+Zyra has used this, and he just initiates on them anyway and gets beautiful cyclones. Wolfer is coming in on the side, but he's going very, very deep. Brand+Zyra is going to dive in the backline with him. Comp's going to go down, and they're going to slowly back up and wait for their team to come around. Snipe's going to come in from the bottom. Leona also forgot the icing lift. Pop is just trying to move around the side of this team fight. Have's going to come in, but he doesn't really want to be there. He needs to have his stun up, but it doesn't seem like it is.
Parker's trying to retreat and pick up the Storm Relic to come back into the fight with an beautiful Cyclone from Bruiser. Able to just come in on that Zyra, finish her off really quick. That might have been exactly what they needed to win this fight. The ultimate coming across on the Snipe is going to take him down, and that is probably going to be a very dead Leona. And that is going to be a 5-for-2. Incredibly well played by Clueless. These 5v5 team fights are just coming out. I'm loving it.
They got their at least 2 more revives from killing the minion. Killing the minion definitely wanting to get the top point. They don't want to have to fight for it anymore. Parker's is going to take the Storm buff, should opt to base right now, and they can just come back into the jungle and take that victory. They're going to hit level 11 first. Killing the minion is only level 9, and rank 2 ultimates pretty much should seal the deal in this game.
Ooh, Bebop just almost clipping that. Also, a very wise thing that Parker's did was he knew he was safe, and he went and be on the speed shrine, so he could get that speed boost coming out of base and buying to get back into the fight faster.
Now, Bibopop's on point here. He's going to catch Snide. All the members of the team are rotating now. Snide did not opt to go to where his Leona was, but he's going to flash away. They're going to still manage to pick him up. Brand+Zyra is going to come down. He's going to find Rages. He's going to put a substantial amount of damage on him. Wolfer is going to walk away from Comp, and they're going to try to initiate on the Bibopop. Snide did blow his revive, so they're just going to let Bibopop die, and they're going to leave. Brand+Zyra is going to be crazy. He opts to E in the Confratarius for a turn into 4 people, and he's going to go down because of that.
Yeah, that was kind of a little skeptical on that play there, but Bibopop is going to have to revive to get down here to help defend this with Wolfer. It's going to be a 3v2, as Jarvan is heading back to base to heal up and try to get map positioning elsewhere.
He should get this neutral and leave immediately. Good, because they have top point. Now, I don't think he should base right here. I think he should stay. He can get an easy kill on Mad's portal. Wow!
Whoa, that timing. That timing.
Now, a 25% mana Snide shouldn't stick around, and they know it. They've gotten bottom point. They're going to try to use this to transition to top. Wolfer knows that the majority of them probably based, but he's very, very skeptical right now. He's walking around. He's going to get initiated on by icing. He's probably going to be able to get back to the base fairly easily.
Yeah,
now
using...
Ooh, nice dodge. And because that they know this, and Clueless didn't commit members to the bottom lane, they're going to try to get this initiated down, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Parker's, however, is going to find Snide in the jungle and delete him, and he probably can chase down icing on the retreat if he calls over his team.
Yeah, it looks like they are backing up right now to try and cut her off, but there's also Confratarius and Jarvan waiting in the wings, so she's going to be able to get out very wisely running down instead of opting for the speed shrine.
Now that was a very good pick on Snide. We have a Parker stopping Comp from being able to get to his team long enough with the ranked up binding to get in with Wukong. Bibopop's going to ult, forgot the icing for Salt and Battery. They're going to go low, but the Zyra comes in with the beautiful ultimate, but it's just not going to be enough. Now, can Brand+Zyra play the dodging game? No! He is going to get away by the skin of his teeth.
So close there. And Half-Hearted, I have to say, on the Syndra is... I'm very surprised that he has a Syndra. I did not know this, and he is doing an outstanding job. Just landing these great stuns. I think he's had quite a few 3 to 4 man stuns coming across. Just excellently done.
Syndra is not that much different from Brand to play. I've always told him this, like, why haven't you picked up Syndra? And apparently, when I wasn't paying attention, he decided to get himself a pocket Syndra. We have Morgana, and we have Wukong, and we have these tight corridors that have always just been perfect for top Syndra. So this is a very good adaptation from him going with the top Syndra instead of the top Malzahar.
Yeah, so he does have the ability to get in there now and get those good stuns. Opting for Morello Nomicon instead of going for BFT first, which is still good. He's going to be able to get that extra CDR, cast more spells, get more stuns out there for his team.
Now, this is a bad rotation by Haste. The call was made since Conf was on top point that they were all going to rotate down the bot. Now, he wanted to play defense, which is bad, but he might be able to get a decent return stun. No, he's just going to off the base. There's nobody over at there, but he doesn't know that. He should just participate in this fight and help his team out, being very, very indecisive, but his team relatively on point until that Brand ult came down. It's gonna bring everybody very, very low. It's a sloppy fight, but Clueless is still gonna probably get the better of it.
Nope. Looks like Icing is going to be the last man standing there. Reclaim the bot lane. Are those revives being popped? Yes, they are.
Popped 3.
3 revives.
I don't think they needed to commit that hard, but they did pop the revives before 14, and they had them stockpiled. So, really, they didn't blow anything. They had to use those revives before 14, because at level 14 you get another charge. So they're going to get them back very quickly. Brand+Zyra is going to be on top of Snipe Sentinel. They parted with reaching with that stun. Brand+Zyra can't really trade with Rages to follow the Flapton that he has, and because he doesn't have Tab Eye. Fine so far, that's 2 whiffs. The rest of everybody is coming up, and they're trying to send Mad Portal down to fight Wolfer in the bot lane, which I think is very ill-advised right now.
Yeah, Wolfer does have that Sanguine Blade and the Ghost Blade. The crits will come out and blow up that Zyra.
Now, Brand+Zyra is going to put as much damage down on the Rages that he can. Bibblepop's going to opt to try to walk away. He's going to charge World Breaker. He's going to catch Snipe, but he gets stunned by Competarius, so he's not able to get the 3rd hit. Competarius is going to bounce ult. He's going to back up. So Wolfer is going to try to roam up to this fight, which isn't going to work. He needs to just run over this Zyra, but he just can't get close enough. So a decisive fight win from killing Dominion.
Yep, very nicely done there. That is going to put the 3-point cap in their favor again, trying to whittle down some of these points. Not too big of a lead even from Clueless right now. They're only at 70 points, and as we know in Dominion, that could be gone in an instant. So we'll see how it goes, see how they play the next team fight. They do have Zyra ult up. Leona ult will be up. The only thing I think they will be missing will be the Brand ultimate. But meanwhile, at the same time, on Clueless' side, they are going to miss the Syndra ultimate and the Vi ultimate.
You do see Hafe, he's played a lot of Brand, but he's missing some of the intricacies on Syndra. He's not getting his Q out before he throws Scatter the Weak down, so he's missing some stuns every so often, but they're normally not stuns in the team fights when they're critical and that matters. They're when he's trying to get a pick.
Yeah, missing pick stuns isn't that big of a deal. But looks like, ooh, BB Pop
getting destroyed by a small trait with Icing and Competarius. He is going to go home, but Rages found Hafe out in the front of his team. BB Pop's going to try to get enough damage on the comp. Brand+Zyra is going to blow up, but this looks like killing the minion is going to wrap up another fight. But can the Nocturne from bottom lane do anything? We have Parker's is going to be able to pick up Rages. Wolfer is over here fighting Matt Sapoto and forgot the Icing. Doesn't seem like Parker has Black Shield up, so...
Nope. There is a revive Hafe-hearted here with that Syndra. Going to be able to get one. I don't know if he's going to be able to get all of them, though. His ultimate is down. And that is going to be a very dead Hafe.
Hafe using his face again. Something he's known for doing, but he needs to be a slightly more careful. Jarvan is one of those champions that finds Syndra and then presses R, and she really can't do anything. She just has to output as much damage as she can before she dies.
And as we just said, with the score being 70 points, it's already down to only a 20-point difference and continuing to drop. So it looks like Killing Dominion is going to take the advantage in this game. See if Clueless can get another really good fight out here, but they don't have the Storm Relic for this next fight. And Killing Dominion knows they want it, and that they're just saying, no, you cannot have this.
Killing Dominion needs to realize, Clueless needs to realize that Killing Dominion is fighting them in the most open spaces possible, and that they can't. Clueless just does not fight well in open spaces. It's a very good adaptation from Wolfer. He's making sure he pulls Snipe back to the bottom lane, and so they can just fight around the corridors that are top that they are so effective at fighting in.
Yeah, Clueless really does not want to try to fight this in the bigger open spaces. Their AoE is going to be less effective. People are going to be able to run away from Morgana bindings.
Wolfer might be dead.
He might be. Oh, missing that Q. If that Q would have landed, I think he could have given chase into it, but he's just going to back up. Meanwhile, back up top, Brand+Zyra is going to get taken out. The Zyra ultimate was used.
Hafe missing the stun. He needed to hit everybody with that, but he only hit one. And everything is slowly turning around.
Yeah, the consistent play that you got to have in order to maintain that good lead in Dominion is faltering a little bit. As you can see,
Brand+Zyra is just getting obliterated every time he tries to initiate. They're just literally blowing every single cooldown to try to kill the Wukong immediately before the Cyclone can do anything, because he built so squishy.
Yeah, he needs to really get some extra bulk on him right now.
And we have Mad Sapoto with the plants, with Twin Shadows, just being the nuisance that is Zyra in the backline. And now if Bibblepop sees Mad Sapoto, they could opt initiate on him. Both of the mages are trying to transition down here, and Snipe's already dead. but they didn't get them on the rotation. They're going to try to get them now, but it's slightly too late as Jarvan comes down to EQ over the top. Snipe blows revive and catches Wolfer on the side, but Wolfer is just being a martyr. He's being a distraction that pulled everybody to the bottom lane. But the issue is they left a Morgana and a Syndra to try to kill Leona on the top point. They need one of the ADs to really do this in an effective manner.
Yeah, having that that burst champion up against the Leona isn't going to do very well.
Now here's Pop. He's going to try to 1v1 side. We'll see if he has enough items to do so. Vi is very good at killing Ezreal, and it looks like it's going to be no problem. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Brand+Zyra getting on Mad to Portal. We do see Hafe and a Parker trying to get on the side. The Flash Cyclone.
Beautiful
He's
Flash
going
Cyclone.
to pick up that kill. The stun's going to come down on the rages from the Morgana ult, and Hafe's going to pick up the kill. And forgot the Icy's not going to be able to do anything because the minions are going to pick up Flash.
Oh, and then Wolfer said, you know what, we got that top lane. Coming right down bot onto this Confitarius to help my Vi, and down he goes. That is going to be no problem, but Snide is up in 1 second. He will be able to get back down here to cover.
And this is very important. When you have the majority of melees on your team comp, you need to get the picks. You need to kill a priority target immediately, and you need to not fight in very open spaces. If you can accomplish those three things, generally the team fights will go well. As soon as Clueless failed to do that, you saw what happened as killing the minions slowly just picked them apart, spread out so the Cyclone could only hit 1 to 2 people, and they immediately just backed up and burst them down and retreated into the fog of war.
Yeah, it's a very different gameplay or game style. You have to be very, very consistent throughout the whole game. You can't make those little mistakes as the game goes on, or you're going to lose that advantage, as small as it may be. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a brawl down here. I'm trying to go in on the Ezreal, not going to be able to get very much done, immediately backing out. Big Pop trying to run through is going to go down as well.
Red team double kill.
And it looks like Comp trying to chase onto Wolfer, going to dodge the Q and try to back off here.
Wolfer is definitely dead, confident with the Rylai's.
Rylai's slow is just way too strong. Does he have a revive to use? He does. He's going to use it. He had 2 revives in his bank, as well as Wukong still having 2
The
revives.
ult is also up, so this could have been a very good bait, but we did see Matsupoto and Rages running over a Parkhurst and Hape on top of this point. And Wolfer just getting disgustingly kited right now.
I think he was under the impression that Vi was coming in right behind him and was going to go in with him. Oh,
Snide moving into it, but has exhaust. Oh, Pop with his own counter exhaust, but he decided to use Assault and Battery early.
Oh, he is going to get it.
But barely picked it up.
Wow, I honestly think if Snide didn't move, he would have been home free.
He definitely would have been home free. He didn't believe.
He did not believe.
Now we do have Hafen and Parker up against this Jarvan. This Jarvan should be dead. He should be dead. Oh, but he blew the exhaust.
Very nice exhaust.
These APs need to react immediately because that Zyra is going to come in and press R, and R is a terrifying thing. Hafe knows he has Black Shield for a little bit, so he's definitely trying to pick up his Jarvan kill, but he's reading super hard. Snide is going to come around the corner, but he has exhaust. He's going to get the stun too, which is very, very well played on his part. So he's going to run back around the corner so he doesn't get flanked by Forgot the Icing, who's just found himself in the middle of everybody as Leona.
Yeah, that denting blows, and the Wukong Q going to come across and just start shredding the armor that she does have built up. So
now,
ADs are actually
Pop
pretty
should not use this wall breaker. Oh, he did, and Masapoto's going to come in.
Oh, he's got the ult, though!
The ult, they're going to get Snide, but then they're going to get top point, but was it worth it? They did get 3 revives off of this exchange.
And while they are getting those revives, the only person without revives right now on Clueless is Baby Pop. Everyone else still has 1 revive. In the meantime, there are only 2 left on killing Dominion right now. It's on Brand+Jarvan.
Now, Wolfer did opt to not get Merc Treads this game, and it's really biting him. He opted for Ninja Tablet, which he had to do against Ezreal, but he can't really participate in the top fights very well. And now that they switch Rylai's Brand to the lane, I really think they should put somebody else like the Wukong or just gank the Brand. Because you really want Nocturne to dive onto this Ezreal in team fights. Even opting for 5v5 jungle fights would be better, in my opinion.
It's like that's exactly what we're going to get.
We're going to get a Parker caught in the Cataclysm, but Hafe is going to delete Snide from the map. Wolfer is going to come up and catch Confitarius. He's going to flash over the wall with Rages. Brand+Zyra should be able to turn around. Hafe, but good stun on Rages, is going to have come around with Wolfer. Brand+Zyra wanted to back up. Hafe is going to get the slow. Can Brand+Zyra get the E off? He does kill. Hafe should live that Brand burn, and we see a Parkhurst is going to come up and chase down that support. A little bit of lag coming around my client, but it looks like Matt's portal is going to be fine.
Yeah,
And
he
Have's
did get away.
going to come up and try to cap, but I do believe that was the rest of the revives on killing Dominion all popped, and Parker's is not paying attention.
I don't think he has a Wooglitz for that situation.
Oh,
Oh.
Have's going to go down, but that stun on Snipe, Bibapop could have definitely picked up that kill. And this is very important. Everybody going down here, and Pop, I don't think is going to get that kill, triple kill for Snipe. This is very, very important. Clueless has to regroup in 8 seconds with all of their members and win the next team fight.
If they don't win the next team fight, that will most likely be GG, and we will be seeing a Game 3. But we'll see if the plays can come through for them right now. They do have the Wukong down here, and oh man, but killing Dominion is all right at the midpoint, and they are reacting to this perfectly.
Round
They were at that
Bruiser,
speed
oh,
run.
they're going to overcommit. Snipe did opt to use his E aggressively into the team fight. The cycle's going to come down. Spread, spread, spread!
Oh, that is going to be a dead Bruiser, but the Nocturne is going to be okay. He does have an Parker's down here to help back him up. Meanwhile, back up in top lane, Syndra and Vi are ripping apart this Leona. The ult is used. Syndra does not have an ult right now, but throwing Zyra's plant away, saying, get out of here. I don't want to deal with you.
Oh, should be dead. This is a good, slow rotation. Black Shield comes down and saves him. Meanwhile, top lane, the Zyra ult wasn't enough to get the Pop and Brown Bruiser. They're both going to survive, so it looks like they're going to be able to at least... No! Ezreal ult's going to stop the caps in the bottom lane, so they're only going to be able to get top off of this.
Still good. They're getting their 3-point advantage back. Bruisers are going to need to head back to heal. It looks like, oh, are we just going to see a full-on push into bot lane here? Vi and Nocturne both heading directly down. I think they're just going to settle this like
They have to
men.
be careful from TS. But TS is actually probably really good because it's pulling all the thing Dominion down to the bottom lane instead of going to top lane. Now this needs very good execution. Pop, don't do it. Black Shield. Black Shield him? Okay, very good play by a Parker. Took the Black Shield out, but Pop's still going to die anyway. Parker's just going to get a relatively good ult, but Wolfer can't stand in the middle of this fight, so they need to leave immediately. Brown Bruiser's going to come in. He doesn't seem to have Cyclone up, or has just opted not to use it.
He does not have it yet.
And this is really a question of how much work can Have do, and it's not enough. They do get away with Wolfer and with Haste, maybe.
And Jarvan blowing the final revive to try and counter any revives coming out from Clueless. But Clueless does have some pretty low respawn timers here. They are getting back up immediately, so let's see if they can get around the map. Does Nocturne have Paranoia? He does. Oh, but the good blocking coming through, making sure he can't get up in range of that Brand to ult into the top.
Wolfer can't afford to. No, calm down. You have to go back to base if you get poked out that hard. We do see Brown Bruiser coming in for a beautiful Cyclone, but is there enough damage to follow it up? I'll find out after my client stops lagging.
Wolfer does go in. He does manage to take down the Ezreal, but the Brand was just too much for him, and it looks like killing Dominion is going to be able to push onto this midpoint. Wolfer did blow his final revive. There are now no more revives in this game. No more plays to be made. Bruiser having to go B because he's already way too low, but in the meantime, Parker's did get bot. So bot lane is uncapped right now, or capped in favor of Clueless. Midpoint is going to go to killing Dominion, but midpoint is very difficult to hold because as soon as people are coming back up, they're flowing right out. So it's really going to come down to a Parkhurst and Bibapop to try and get this catch here. Oh, the flash coming out from Mike. Matt's portal, he did not want to get hit by that. Meanwhile, Bruiser getting taken down a few notches here, trying to jump into 3 people. Did not work out for him. No, and it looks like, oh, Confitarius has got the back cap going. The 3 cap is still solid at the midpoint. I think that is going to be GG Game 2 now. Going to killing Dominion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a Game 3. And man, these games have been amazing. Like the comps coming out, the counter picking, the plays, the rotations. They've all been just solid games. Clueless had a good advantage throughout most of the game, but their team fighting just seemed very off. They seemed very a little too aggro, jumping into things really fast when they didn't really need to. And we'll take a quick look at our damage charts here, and we'll get right into Game 3. I know these guys are waiting on us to get out of the spectate. Ezreal sitting at the top, 51,000. Zyra sitting in second place. So pretty sure Zyra is going to come through with that ban. We will see, though. Be a quick break while we get into that lobby, and we'll be right back with game number 3.